What is up everybody, it's your boy, your name, back with another insane video. Today we're diving headfirst into the wild world of driving fails. We're talking about those drivers who make you question how they ever pass their driving test. You know the ones, they leave a trail of chaos and destruction in their wake. Get ready to cringe, laugh, and maybe even shed a tear for those poor unsuspecting cars. We've got 10 epic fails lined up for you, each one more unbelievable than the last. From parking lot pandemonium to highway horror stories, we've got it all. So buckle up, grab some popcorn, and get ready to witness some of the worst driving the internet has to offer. Alright, enough chit-chat, let's get this show on the road. Alright, first up, we've got a classic case of parking gone wrong. I mean, seriously wrong. This driver takes parallel parking to a whole new level of awful. We see them slowly pulling into a spot, seemingly with some level of caution. But then, it all goes haywire. They crank the wheel too hard, slam on the gas, and BAM! They've managed to wedge their car between two perfectly innocent vehicles. And the best part? They don't even stop there. They keep reversing and accelerating as if that's going to magically fix the situation. Spoiler alert, it doesn't. This, my friends, is why you don't hand out driver's licenses like participation trophies. Hold on tight because this next one is a real doozy. We're talking about a driver who seems to have missed the memo about driving on the right side of the road. The footage starts with a dashcam view, cruising down a highway. Everything seems normal, until suddenly, headlights appear out of nowhere, heading straight towards them. It's like something out of a nightmare. The driver with the dashcam slams on their brakes, swerving to avoid a head-on collision. The wrong-way driver just keeps on trucking, seemingly oblivious to the near-death experience they just caused. This is why we need to invest in self-driving cars, people. Red means stop, green means go. It's a simple concept, right? Well, not for this driver apparently. They treat red lights like suggestions, like optional pauses in their day. We're talking about a full-on, blatant disregard for traffic signals. The kind of driver who sees a red light and thinks, challenge accepted. The footage shows them approaching an intersection, the light turning a bright, angry red. But do they slow down? Do they even flinch? Nope, they floor it, speeding through the intersection as if they have a personal vendetta against traffic laws. Miraculously, they manage to avoid a collision, but not without missing a few heartbeats of everyone around them. Seriously, this is how accidents happen. Let's all try to obey them, shall we? Chapter 4. The Speed Demon. Fast cars, winding roads, adrenaline pumping. It's the stuff of action movies, right? Well, not when you're talking about a residential neighborhood. This next driver seems to think they're Vin Diesel in Fast and Furious, but they're more like a crash test dummy waiting to happen. We're talking about someone who treats speed limits like suggestions whispered from a distant, irrelevant universe. The footage shows them flying down a quiet street, lined with houses, kids playing, the whole 9 yards. They're weaving in and out of traffic, narrowly missing parked cars, basically playing real-life Mario Kart with innocent bystanders. It's only a matter of time before something goes wrong, and unfortunately, it does. Remember folks, speed limits are there for a reason, and breaking the law, well, that's never a good look. Chapter 5. The Distracted Driver. We live in a world of constant distractions. Smartphones, tablets, smartwatches, smart toasters, you name it, it's vying for our attention. But there's one place where distractions can be deadly behind the wheel. This next clip showcases the dangers of distracted driving in all its terrifying glory. We're not talking about a quick glance at the radio, we're talking full-on, eyes glued to the phone, oblivious to the world kind of distraction. The footage shows a driver cruising down the road, phone in hand, thumbs tapping away like they're composing the next great American novel. They're so engrossed in their digital world that they completely fail to notice the car braking in front of them. The inevitable happens. This, my friends, is why they tell you to put your phone away while driving. Chapter 6. The Drunk Driver. Alright, let's get serious for a moment. This is a topic that affects us all, whether directly or indirectly. This next one is tough to watch. It's not just a story, it's a harsh reality that many have faced. It's a stark reminder of the devastating consequences of drunk driving. The aftermath is chaotic, filled with sirens and flashing lights. We see a car swerving erratically down the road, barely able to stay within its lane. It's a terrifying sight, knowing what could happen next. The driver is clearly intoxicated, their judgment impaired, their reflexes shot. They are a danger to themselves and everyone around them. It's a recipe for disaster, and unfortunately, disaster strikes. The car loses control, drifting dangerously across the road. The drunk driver plows into another vehicle, the impact sending shockwaves through both cars. The sound of the crash is deafening. The footage is graphic, the aftermath heartbreaking. Emergency responders rush to the scene trying to save lives. Lives are forever changed in an instant, all because someone made the reckless decision to drink and drive. Families are torn apart, dreams shattered. If you're gonna drink, please, for the love of all that is good, don't drive. Hand over your keys, make the responsible choice. Call a cab, take an Uber, ride a camel, I don't care, just don't get behind the wheel. Your life and the lives of others depend on it. Chapter 7. The Reckless Overtaker. We've all been stuck behind a slow driver at some point. It's one of those universal experiences that every driver can relate to. You're on your way to an important meeting, or maybe just trying to get home after a long day. And there it is, a car moving at a snail's pace, seemingly oblivious to the world around it. It's frustrating, it's annoying, but you know what's more frustrating and annoying? The temptation to do something reckless just to get past them. The urge to take matters into your own hands and overtake them, even when it's not safe to do so. Ending up in a ditch because you tried to overtake them on a blind curve. It's a scenario that's all too common and all too avoidable. The consequences of such impulsive actions can be dire, leading to accidents that could have been easily prevented with a bit of patience. This next driver clearly didn't get the memo about patience being a virtue. They decided that their time was more important than their safety, or the safety of others on the road. They're in a hurry, they need to be somewhere 5 minutes ago, and they're willing to risk their life and the lives of others to shave a few seconds off their commute. It's a dangerous mindset, one that prioritizes speed over safety, and it often leads to disastrous outcomes. The footage shows them approaching a blind curve, their impatience getting the better of them. They don't slow down, they don't wait for a safer opportunity. Instead, they make a split-second decision that could change their life forever. They swing out into the oncoming lane, completely oblivious to the fact that they can't see what's coming around the bend. It's a gamble, a dangerous roll of the dice with their life and the lives of others at stake. And guess what? There's a car coming around the bend, a big one. The kind of vehicle that doesn't stop on a dime, that can't swerve out of the way in time. It's a recipe for disaster. The resulting collision is about as predictable as the ending of Titanic, only with less Celine Dion and more twisted metal. The aftermath is a scene of chaos, a stark reminder of the dangers of reckless driving. It's better to arrive late than to not arrive at all. Remember, no destination is worth risking your life. Drive safe, be patient, and always prioritize safety over speed. Chapter 8. The Road Rage Incident. They say road rage is like a dance, because nobody wins. It's a chaotic ballet of metal and fury, where the only music is the blaring of horns and the screeching of tires. The frustration builds up like steam in a pressure cooker, ready to explode at any moment. But in this next clip, it's more like a cage fight on wheels. And trust me, you don't want to be a spectator. The aggression is palpable, the tension so thick you could cut it with a knife. It's a high-stakes game where the players are fueled by adrenaline and anger. We see two cars, locked in a battle of egos, weaving in and out of traffic, exchanging pleasantries in the form of angry honks and creative hand gestures. It's a dangerous dance where one wrong move could spell disaster for everyone on the road. It's like a scene straight out of Grand Theft Auto, only with less pixelation and more real-world consequences. The speeds are insane, the maneuvers reckless, and the stakes incredibly high. One moment of lost control could lead to a catastrophic chain reaction. The tension builds, the insults fly, and eventually, one of the drivers snaps. You can see the rage boiling over, the moment when reason gives way to raw emotion. It's a ticking time bomb, and it's about to go off. They brake-check the other car, sending them spinning out of control. It's a reckless move, one that could have devastating consequences. The car spins, tires screeching, and for a moment time seems to stand still. The situation escalates from a war of words to a full-on demolition derby. Metal crunches, glass shatters, and the road becomes a battlefield. It's a sobering reminder of how quickly things can spiral out of control. Road rage is never the answer. It's a momentary lapse in judgment that can have lifelong consequences. The anger you feel in that instant isn't worth the potential damage to yourself and others. So the next time someone cuts you off, take a deep breath, count to 10, and remember that revenge is a dish best served cold, preferably not while operating a motor vehicle. Let cooler heads prevail and keep the roads safe for everyone. Chapter 9. The Inexperienced Driver. We've all been there. That first time behind the wheel, the nerves, the excitement, the overwhelming feeling that you're about to pilot a 2-ton metal death trap. It's a rite of passage, but for some it's a passage straight into disaster. This next clip features a driver who's clearly still getting the hang of this whole driving thing. They're stalling out, they're forgetting to signal, they're basically a walking, talking, driving manual violation. It's a comedy of errors, a symphony of awkwardness, and a reminder that experience, as they say, is the best teacher, especially when it comes to operating heavy machinery. Chapter 10. The Unbelievable Crash. And last but not least, we've saved the best for last. This final clip is so unbelievable, so outrageous, so mind-bogglingly absurd that you'll be questioning the very fabric of reality. We're talking about a crash so epic, so over the top, that it would make Michael Bay proud. It involves multiple vehicles, a healthy dose of physics-defying stunts, and enough twisted metal to make a scrapyard owner weep with joy. But trust me, this is the kind of crash that will have you picking your jaw up off the floor and saying, "Did that really just happen?" Outro, stay safe out there. Well, there you have it, folks. 10 epic driving fails that prove some people probably shouldn't be allowed behind the wheel. From parking lot mishaps to highway horror stories, we've seen it all. Remember, these videos are meant to entertain, but they also serve as a reminder to be careful out there on the roads. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more crazy content. Drive safe out there.